Now we really are live, and hopefully chat is working again. Hopefully. I'm praying. There we go. Part of it's working. Get chat opened up here. Sorry, Windows update. Whatever. I can't control the fail. It's hard sometimes. I wish every time it rebooted after an update, it didn't like completely screw with all of the audio settings, but that does seem to be its lot in life, is to jack with my audio settings every time I decide to do a update. That all looks good, and survey says, I think chat is working. There we go. Aha, it works. Excellent. Thank you, Shadow Walker. I appreciate it. Now let's get back to playing. I'll send my complaint to Microsoft. I'm sure they'll really take that into account next time they push out an update. You break MC's PC, screw up his streams, we must drop everything and fix Windows updates so they stop doing that. I'm sure that'll be the response I get. I have a feeling crickets will be a better response. Shadow, I will be streaming for a couple hours. Yeah. If you gotta grab something to eat. Yeah, absolutely. Stop back by when you get home. Should definitely be on. The cursed cellar. Hopefully the cursed... No, the cursed cellar is this way. Okay, so what none of you heard, because were having voice issues again, Matt Dingo, welcome back, buddy, was that I'm going to be doing some bounties tonight. I have some ancient legendaries, or sorry, I have some regular legendaries I'd like to try to re-roll into ancients. I think if I get through 5 sets of bounties, I'll have enough to do 20 re-rolls, and hopefully that'll be enough to get me what I'm looking for. Hopefully, and then probably run some greater rifts to do some gem leveling. Probably around like level 75 plus will be the plan tonight. Oh, kill 100 enemies. Why can't these be like kill the champion pack, or you know, something easy, small, quick? Oh, if I just stand in the center and do nothing, I think that helps even better. They'll just walk to me slowly. And the timer will expire before we actually get the extra chest, but, you know, who cares? It's not part of the bounty. You don't have to be successful at the bounty. Yeah, Katie, that is a pain. You are absolutely correct. I actually had enough to re-roll a pair of gloves 20 times to see if I could get an ancient. And all the 20 rerolls, I did not get a single ancient. I was so pissed off because I hate bounties. They are the scourge of Diablo 3 for me. They make me absolutely insane. Especially bounties in like Act 1 and 2. Because there's usually ones where you have to like stop and like channel to like free someone or something stupid like that. Yeah, Matt, you know what, I did update my build since I think the last time I went over it. Let me see here. If I go into inventory, so things moved around a little bit as far as set bonuses go. I'm now just using Talrash's set pretty much in order to get the 6-piece bonus. I've got 5 pieces equipped, so the head, the chest, the neck, the hands, and the legs, plus I have the Ring of Royal Grandeur inside my cube, so it winds up putting, I'll go back and show that to you, it winds up giving me the 6-piece set bonus, which is huge for this build and the damage it's putting out. We talked about that in the previous build explanation, but so I've got Ring of Royal Grandeur here. From a weapon perspective, obviously Wand of Woe hasn't changed, but you will see that Firebirds is gone. Hey, Lightning, how are you? You'll see that Firebirds is gone, except they do have shoulders here that are from the Firebird set. The only reason that I'm wearing them is A, they're ancient, B, it's a good roll, C, I've got 8% cooldown reduction on them, and they have the explosive blast damage, and I already enchanted them, so they're kind of the best shoulders I have at this point. You can pretty much wear whatever pair of shoulders that, you know, puffs your skirt, so to speak, but that's just why I'm wearing these. Then I have the illusory boots on, so these come from doing bounties. You can pretty much wear any boots you want. I just like them because it allows me to walk through enemies. It allows me to, like when teleport's not up, I can walk out of the way a little bit. Also, when you run into a waller, one of the guys with the waller prefix or affix on them, you can just walk right through the walls. You don't get trapped, so that's why I kind of like these. Instead of using the Firebirds offhand, you see I have the Orb of Infinite Depth now. This increases your defense when you are using Explosive Blast, so it pairs nicely with the build, but because the way the build was set up previously, you just couldn't use it here. But now that I've changed some things around, it's definitely being used. I did wind up getting a Telrasha's that has I was able to roll a socket into. It's not the best roll in the world, and it's not ancient. I will never get a Telrasha's set amulet that is ancient and has decent rolls on it. I've resigned myself to that, but it kind of is what it is. And I am rocking the Nemesis bracers for most stuff, just because I've got them enchanted, and also because it's got the shrines and pylons on it, which is just nice to get extra Death's Breath, extra things when you're in a rift in order to get the Rift Guardian show up quicker. Just a nice utility. So I am running a Aquila Cuirass since we're playing on Torment 12, just to get the additional damage reduction, because it makes a huge freaking difference. And then for the weapon skill, this is in Geom. Your skill cooldowns are reduced by 10 seconds for 15 seconds after killing an elite pack. The key piece of this is that you kill an elite pack and pretty much teleport has no cooldown effectively, and explosive blast has no cooldown effectively. So you start killing things really quick because explosive blast has absolutely no cooldown at that point. So it works out really well. From a skill perspective, the only thing I changed around was, instead of using magic weapon, force weapon, which gives us extra damage, I swapped out deflection for this. Once again, we're on tier 12. As you try to force this build into higher level rifts, greater rift, and bounty levels, you're going to need more defense, because this build is like very, very glass cannon-ish, I guess is the best way to put it. So you're going to need more defense, and so I decided to take a little bit of a hit on the damage and put this in here. If you were going to be doing like T10 bounties or something lower, you might put force weapon on, just because if you're not scared of dying, you really don't need to worry about the fact that you're taking so much damage, right? Because the lower level bounties, the lower level torment levels aren't going to hit as hard. So as you step up, you have to add a little bit more in defense. Same thing with, we pop this out. So I'm rocking elemental exposure right now. If it's kind of a toss-up with this one, like what do you want to take right here? Whether you take maybe Blur for some damage resistance, or Elemental Exposure, or do you want Unstable Anomaly to give you kind of an extra life, so to speak, in case you get hit hard. Glass Cannon is also a good one. It just depends on how much damage you're really taking and how tanky you can be. So there's things you can play around with to kind of customize it as you move through. Let me go show you something else. So, and some of the stuff that you can swap in, and I know I talked about this last time, but some of the stuff you can swap in is the Warzekian Arm Guards to help you burst through things a little bit quicker when you've got items that are destructibles around you. So barrels, tables, branches, etc. The Ancient Parthian Defenders are part of the a different build for this. But the Ashnagarth Blood Bracer is another one that I will occasionally run on here, which increases the power of the shields. This build has a partial defense around shields. So I haven't found that this is increases the potency of your shields by 98%. Seems like really impactful, but in the usage, I just haven't found it to be that impactful. So because we're running this, which gives us a shield, right? And then we also have dominance, which gives us shields. It's kind of like, well, we're, you know, doing stuff to get ourselves shields, blah, blah, blah. Why not make them better? But it's just, I haven't found it to be that effective. So I wound up swapping the Nemesis bracers for that. I haven't really regretted it too much. It's just one of those things. You play around with it on your own, and you might get a different result. It's just kind of a seat of the pants feel. There's no way to really judge how tough an individual shield is. The game's not built like that. But seat of the pants, I kind of like the Nemesis bracers better. Plus, who doesn't like hitting pylons and getting lead packs to spawn? So, very rewarding. But those are the changes to the build. Nothing too crazy, but it has been switched around just a little bit. Once again, you can always sacrifice defense for damage as you step down in Greater Rift level, or you step down in Nephilim Rift level or Torment level, just to clear quicker. But if you start stepping up that ladder, you're going to need more defense because you're just going to get one-shotted real quick. I mean, shit, I could get one-shotted right now if I do something stupid. It's just managing your shields and your positioning. Matt Dingo, are you excited about the season? What character are you going to make? Well, Matt, I'll definitely have a wizard during the season because I want to get the season rewards, and I'll be pushing for that. But I'll also be rocking a necromancer in season just to test out the necromancer from a 0 Paragon point perspective to see what it's really like leveling it up. So definitely both of those, but I want to get the rewards, and if for whatever reason gear doesn't work out or builds or whatever, I'll probably go in with the wizard to just get myself the rewards that pop out of the seasons. Even with minimal gear, I can skate by with a wizard because I'm so familiar with it. With the necromancer, there's going to be a learning curve there that is going to take some time to get through. And I don't want my season to get screwed up because of that. What about you? Are you excited for the season coming up? Kill 30 enemies. Oh, that was easy. Jesus, really? I think that was the easiest bounty I've ever done. This won't be 100 enemies. See, this is the kind of chest I like. Actually, the chests I really like are the ones that kick out legendaries and set items. Those are the ones I really like, but you know, when you do those chest events, the chance that you're actually getting a legendary or set item is so slim. Pretty much wish in one hand and do you know what in the other, and that's pretty much your chances of getting a set item or a legendary. It can happen, I've had it happen, it's just so infrequent. Oh god, see, these, I hate these bounties. If I have to stop and channel something, it's just really annoying. Like, there's similar, like, ones in Act 5, Act 4, Act 5 that were part of the Crusader release, right? And all you have to do is touch them, and they consider them, you know, they're like cages you're releasing people from. So all you have to do is touch them, and all of a sudden they're released. You don't have to channel. They at least could have come back to the earlier acts and implemented that functionality, because this channeling thing is just makes me insane. Be on PS4, I have no clue how to do my wizard for the quest for the season. You know what, for the wizard, when you're leveling, in my opinion, which is definitely not worth much, when I level up, I usually go heavy on the frost skills because they're really defensive, and as you're trying to push those levels, you have absolutely jack for gear. Hey, Ronins, how are you? Hey, thanks a lot, Ryan. I appreciate it. Glad you like those Dishonored 2 videos. Are you, Kitty? Yeah, I liked leveling it. I just didn't feel like I got the full experience because I couldn't help myself from putting all my Paragon points on it and jumping up the Torment level to 6, and it was pretty much 1 to 70 and, you know, 2.2 seconds flat. So I kind of ruined it for myself, and I'm looking forward to the season to get that true leveling experience with the Necro to see what it's about. Because I don't think you get the opportunity to really play with all the abilities and stuff. Yeah, I couldn't help myself, Katie. It was just like, you know what? I really shouldn't do this, but that big plus sign on the screen just called my name. I couldn't help. Oh, I'm glad that's how you feel, Ronins. Last time I streamed, someone popped in and told me that the way I was playing was giving them cancer. So I'm sure glad to hear that watching me play is making you feel better and not giving you cancer. Matt, for the Cold Wizard, you really can't. I have tried my damnedest to get a build together that is just can rock high-level greater rifts and kill stuff quickly, and no matter how I gear it, no matter for me, I haven't found it. It doesn't exist. I wish it did because I love Frost Ray. I really, really do. And I love the offhand that makes Frost Ray pierce and all of that, but there's just not a viable build. It makes me crazy. I really wish there was. Katie, I really don't have much up in the way of Diablo videos. Most of the stuff has really just been live streams because there's really not a lot of other stuff to play right now. And I don't have, work's been crazy, and I haven't had a lot of patience for, like, Dragon Age. So we need to finish up a lot of the Dragon Age playthrough, but I just haven't had the patience to spend the time to do that. Yeah, Cold really is brilliant. It's just, there's not like a beastly, like, oh my god, you're clearing Greater Rift 75 with this build type setup with Cold that I found. Katie. It's, you know, you get these massive chests and you pop them open and there's one yellow, one blue. Oh, so disappointing. Ah, time to kill the Spider Queen. Okay. Yeah, the Explosive Blast build is just absolutely my favorite build of all. It's just so much fun to run. It's not the best build by any means, and you're not going to be rocking out, you know, level 75 Greater Rifts unless you're doing like the Delseer's set and slow time and all that crap, which I don't like. Sorry, not that I don't like it, I'm just not a huge fan of it. I like this one better. But for bounties and everything else, it's pretty cool. I like the Arcane Orbit build for doing high-level rifts. And if we get into some of those tonight, if I can get these bounties done, I'll probably show that off a little bit. Is there, like, not a... Oh, okay. Like, am I going the wrong way? That arrow is pointing the exact opposite direction that I'm walking. You know, I tried Archon as the build, and, like, in the high-level Greater Rifts, it seems like you're just... You're spending more time trying not to die while Archon is on cooldown than anything else, and I would always wind up getting killed or something stupid, and it just annoyed me. So I did give it a shot because I thought, oh, this is gonna be cool. I love the Archon, and hey, I got a fist weapon. That'll be great for my wizard. Ugh. The non-class drops are real. No, don't go away. Don't go away. On T12, I just cannot kill her in one go. She runs away too quick. Alright, come back down right here. There you go. No, no, no. No, no, no. Such a coward. What's up with all the spider bosses? Even the spider boss in Act 3, she does that too. Play with my daughters. And then she runs away. Alright. So, the defense is up high enough on this that you can take out these guys, but for offense, I mean, it doesn't kill bosses as quick as I'd like, but it's one of those things that I'd rather get the extra materials than have to do, you know, more bounties, since I detest bounties with a fiery passion. What the hell did I miss? Oh. Whoops. My bad. Got excited, talking, thought we were done. Was being optimistic. Oh yeah, we're done. Woo. Nope. Kill Captain Cage. Well, that is definitely not where Captain Cage is going to be. Captain Crunch, come here. Time to die. Well, thanks, Ryan. I appreciate that. Just don't watch the live stream version of them. That's a collection of fail that. There was a lot of fail in those live streams. Lots and lots of fail. But it really wasn't my fault, if, you know, to be honest. Everyone has heard me all along say I don't do melee combat playthroughs. I don't do it. It's not my thing, and that's what everybody asked for. And I think they asked for it on purpose. They're like, hey, let's find something that MC just is totally incompetent at and has no skill whatsoever. Let's have him do that on a live stream. That'll be awesome. So that's what everybody asked for, so that's what you got. But, woo, that was ugly. That was ugly. Not my finest hour. Oh, some of those were brutal. Still have nightmares about those live streams. Not really, but it could happen. It could happen. Alright, where are we going? I don't like these desert bounties either, because they occasionally like port you in to an area that is either north or south of a different like little like half zone that you actually need to go to, and you go to the wrong zone and then you have to backtrack across half the frickin' map, and ugh. They could just give you the arrow immediately to tell you where you need to go. That would be really helpful. I understand that Black Canyon mines are over here to the left, but there aren't 100 enemies in Black Canyon mines, so we kind of have to kill up here first. Oh, hey, look, elites. Oh, God. Not the explosions. Yeah, I don't... Act 3 bounties don't bother me too much as Act 1 and Act 2. It's just... And only because Act 1 and Act 2, it's the stupid... Hey, I know you're busy killing things, but would you like to stop everything and stand here for 10 minutes as you channel a guy out of a cage or whatever, God knows what else it is. There's an Act 5 bounty that's like that. There's some like black jars you have to touch that... Ugh. And of course they always put it in some place like the graveyard where there's like 7,000 enemies where you can never get a break from combat in order to channel anything. I don't think there are 30 more of these guys here to kill. We may have to go back down south. When I get the graveyard on like a Nephilim Rift or a Greater Rift, I'm singing its praises. But when I get it on a bounty, when I have to channel something, it's just like, oh my god, seriously? Do I want to screw around with this? No. What I want to do is find... Oh, really? I zone transitioned? Give me a break. This is still the... This is why I don't like this map. So because we walked 3 feet to the left, we wound up in a zone that was no longer giving us credit for killing bad guys. Yeah, Katie, that's a good one. And the prison, when you get a giant prison level, that is my favorite. That I would cut a bitch to get the prison level every time I go into a rift. Oh my god, that is the single best one. Okay, well, I know where we need to go for this next one, so I might as well walk over there. I need a dragon mount, that's what I need. Well, the only reason I noticed it is because I looked over to see what the kill count was and noticed that it had changed, and then there was this gold ping on the map for up here. I'm thinking, what is going on? Why is it pinging me? Oh, because I just zone transitioned, and now I'm nowhere near where I need to be. I did. Well, I saw the pet. I can't remember what whether it was a dragon or not, but I did see that there was a new one. I found out a little while ago when I found a menagerie goblin that I apparently have all the pets that you need or that you can collect, because he dropped no pets for me, which was disappointing, because every time I found one I got excited that I was going to get a new pet, and now no new pets. Can I get like a blinker or something on the screen to tell me where we're supposed to go in here? Death of the Outside. Oh, Ryan, absolutely. That DLC will totally make it to the channel. It'd make it to the channel even quicker if I could convince them to simply give me an advanced copy of it so I can check it out, but, you know, small channel. That's not going to happen, so. Okay, good deal. I suppose when you stop talking, I'll be able to get out of here. Kill Zoltan Cool, we'll do that last. You know, when I do my bounties, I always do the quote-unquote kill the boss one last, because I want to pick up, like, all of the yellows and blues, but I don't want to pick them up before then, because I don't want to fill my inventory up with a bunch of crap. But since at that point you're going back to the base anyways, kind of makes sense. At least that's why I do it that way. Hey, I wanted to say I love your Dishonored 2 videos. They helped out a lot. Still can't ghost through even with your guides. Ah, Wicked, you'll get it. You'll get it. I'm telling you. This takes a little bit of patience. Some of the stuff isn't always the same in between missions, so you kind of have to be a little more patient, read the guards, which can be difficult, I know, but I think you get it. Just give it some time. If you wind up having specific problems with any missions, you know, leave a comment on one of the videos. I'll get back to you. If I can help out or make some suggestions, I totally will. Kill all enemies, Mysterious Cave, level 2. Well, this is level 1, therefore we need not kill any enemies. And the other nice thing about it is, so the trade-off with doing the higher torment level in here is also that you don't really have the ability to, because the defense that you really do need is there's some cool things you can equip that will like reduce the teleport cooldown and allow you to teleport twice in a row, make teleport cost mana and have no cooldown, which makes you get through bounties a lot quicker. But at the same time, at least for me with the gear I have, I just can't run like super high level torments. And you know, if you're getting 4 extra pieces of crafting material for every set that you clear, if you do 3 bounties, that means you pretty much effectively got 1 free set of bounties. You know what I mean? So like, at Torment 10, you get 10 for each act. If at Torment 12, you get 14 for each act. You see what I mean? You're getting enough that it reduces the actual number of bounties you eventually have to do in order to get the same amount of crafting materials. So that's kind of why I like to do it. It's a little bit slower, but it's not like another full 5-act bounty run slower. Plus the increased, you know, drop chance on legendaries, etc., etc. Yeah, Katie, I used to do that as well with the teleport wand. It definitely was helpful. I don't want to do that. What I want to do is go to kill the cleric. Pavan! Am I still going to play Dishonored? Hey, when the new DLC comes out, Pavan, I will absolutely be playing Dishonored. Until then, probably not. See, this is one of those ones where I don't know whether we go through here or we stay down here. This is the shit I was talking about. Hey, look. Oh, I know where this is. Oh, never mind. I didn't realize this was where the boss was. This is an easy one to get through and kill enemies. Do I think there will be a Dishonored 3? I sure hope so. I think they've done really well with that franchise. And I would love to see them continue it. From what I've been told, there's no Witcher 4, which, oh, that's a shame. I mean, that's a real shame. Witcher 3 was so good. I mean, just hands down, so good. I mean, I'm glad they're gonna end on a good note, but at the same time, it's like, damn, like, you definitely want more of that game. Really, I want more of that game. I don't know that I've talked to anybody who has been like, Witcher 3, oh, that sucked. I mean, not somebody who's a fan of the like RPG type games and stuff. That I haven't heard that from anybody. So when you get a game that's universally liked that well, well, you got to keep that bus rolling. Oh yeah, yeah. It was so big. It was just such a great game. It's such a good job. I was so impressed, and I'm rarely super impressed by games. I'm occasionally pleased, but impressed is a rare one. But I was definitely impressed by Witcher 3. Not my personal favorite game, to be honest. Just because the live-action combat crap, not my thing. But from a gameplay perspective, the voice acting, the graphics, the story, the writing, just nailed it. Knocked it out of the park. And it's such a fantastic job with that. Do you play as Emily or Corvo more? I think I played as Emily more, but that's because most people were asking for a lot of Emily stuff. They're both the same to me, so... Especially in New Game Plus, where you pretty much can use whatever ability you want for whatever character. I do like some of Emily's kill sequences. It's just a little bit better. But other than that, it's kind of 6 one, half dozen another to me. Oh, goblin. I thought I almost heard one, but I have my sound turned down, so... I heard the sound of gold rumbling. Hey, look, elites. Pavan, I've considered making videos for the original Dishonored. A couple people have asked for them. I don't know if it'll happen or not. For like most things with this stuff, it like kind of depends on, like, you know that I like to make quality like videos when I'm actually uploading videos. I'm not sure that we have quality streams, but doing the uploads, you know, I like to actually know what the hell I'm talking about when I make a video and put it out there. And it's been so long with Dishonored that I didn't really have to go back and play through the whole game and get a better feel for it. So it'd just be a matter of time if I had the time to do it. Right now, my schedule's just like crazy. So find a time to do that stuff, like do anything that requires a significant time investment is a little bit rough. Can I show my gear? Yeah, absolutely. Let me get through this level and I will absolutely pop gear up and show the build real quick. I should put a link in the video description to the build, but I haven't because we've gone over the build a few times in stream, so yeah, give me a sec, and as soon as I get through here, I will do that. Oh god, we're on level 2? Oh Jesus. I've been talking so much, I haven't been paying attention that we're on level 2. There's probably like 15 bad guys straggling behind us. I don't know what that is, Wicked, but likely not. I don't think this is anyone's individual build. I mean, it's my individual build. The whole Fire Blast build came from somebody, or the Explosive Blast build came from somebody. I have no idea who, but the modifications I've made to it have been my own. Not that they're so unique, someone else hasn't probably thought of them, but... Okay, well, let's see here. How much fail is behind us? Everything through here has been killed. It's gonna have to be over here. 7 bad guys remaining. How did I leave 7 guys alive? There they are. Okay. We'll pop back out. Do a quick show and tell. So for skills, if you want a detailed explanation of the build, like how it works and stuff, you can message me on YouTube and I'll get back to you and go over it with you. if you're wondering why all the skills are set up the way they are and how they synergize. But Electrocute, Arc Lightning gets you lightning damage. Got Magic Weapon Deflection. You can use Arcane Force Weapon here, depending on what difficulty you're playing on. I've got Deflection on here, just give me some more defense, because this build is pretty susceptible to getting one-shotted if you don't have some decent defense. Frost Nova with Frozen Mist, Explosive Blast, Chain Reaction, Diamond Skin with Prism, and Teleport with Calamity. Effectively, with this build, you're trying to chain together 4 different types of damage. So we got Lightning, we've got Frost, Fire, and Arcane gives us our 4th one. Elemental Exposure is here, Audacity, Dominance, a little more defense, and then Evocation. The key pieces of this build are getting your cooldowns as far down as you can, so you can get Explosive Blast to kick off as often as possible. Go into inventory and look at some of the gear. This is pretty effectively the Talrasha set that I'm running with Ring of Royal Grandeur in the cube, right? And I've got illusory boots on. You can wear whatever boots you want. I like the illusory boots because it lets you just kind of move through enemies. In case teleports down, you can move out of like one of the molten explosions or something might kill you. Wand of Woe, key to making the build work. See, it gives you extra explosive blasts. For offhand, I've got Orb of Infinite Depth. Once again, ties in with the whole explosive blast thing. For bracers, I'm running Nemesis bracers because they're my favorite bracer. And you can pretty much run whatever bracer you want with this build. It's just whatever you like. And same thing with the Firebird shoulders. You don't have to run these. You can run whatever shoulder you want, but I already have cooldown on them. They have explosive blast damage, and I had already enchanted them, so that's why I'm running them. Effectively, the priorities for this build are getting cooldown on just about everything you can. For the rings, I've got Focus and Restraint, Talrash's neck, and the rest of the Talrash's gear. For belt, I'm running a Witching Hour, just because the Witching Hour gives you the most damage increase from a belt perspective. It's my favorite. If we go and look at the cube, I keep threatening to put up a build guide, but I never do. Aquila Cuirass and Ingeum. So the Ingeum is kind of like what makes your Explosive Blast so powerful, because when you kill an elite pack, effectively Teleport has no cooldown and Explosive Blast has no cooldown, so you can just spam the shit out of it and it kills everything. It's amazing. If you're playing at not a real high Torment level or not a real high Rift level, you can always swap Aquila Cuirass for something else. You don't have to run this. It just happens to be that I'm running Torment 12, and if I don't run it, I wind up getting myself killed. And I figured we'd avoid that on stream tonight, if that's possible. Yeah, Katie, I keep threatening to put one up, but I've started it a few times and then stopped because I haven't had time to actually finish it out, so. Witching Hour is such a pain in the ass to get. Dort, I'll tell you the best way to get it, pro tip, is to run rifts and get, get shards for Kadala, okay? Once you have your Kadala shards, take your Kadala shards and go to Kadala and buy belts. Now, she's going to give you trash like she always does. She's not going to give you a Witching Hour because, let's face it, we all know Kadala's a stingy bitch. But what she is going to give you is a bunch of yellow belts. Once you get those yellow belts, take them to your cube, drop them in your cube, and then upgrade them to legendaries. That's how I've got my Witching Hour that right now is ancient. That's where I got it. But every time when I'm starting a season, if I want a Witching Hour, I always do that and go to the cube, and that's how I get it. I never get anything. I never get a Witching Hour drop. It never happens. I always get it by upgrading the cube. And you may have to go through, 30 upgrades, 40 upgrades. I've done a whole, inventory screen full of upgrades before and not getting one, but the cube's where it's at. Because the only thing that you're going to be, rolling RNGs on is belts. So you're guaranteed to get a legendary belt of some sort. just what does it roll. So you're really limiting your odds on, you know, rolls and stuff. Because otherwise, if you're just waiting for a drop, I mean, you could get a fist weapon drop on your wizard. You know, it's like there's no way to control it. So you limit the random nature of it a little bit. Oh yeah, Katie, I feel you. As I said, the last 20 the last 20 rerolls of ancient items I did was gloves, and I just got totally hosed. I got nothing. Nothing. It was so painful. And it's my own fault because I have like an almost perfect roll on the gloves I'm trying to get an ancient version of. So, but I didn't even get an ancient version. I didn't even get like a shitty ancient version. That would have pissed me off even more, I guess, but I can't get an upgrade for them, so next time we go back to town, I'll show you what I'm looking at. Come on. Last one to die. There's a rotten egg. There we go. Oh, shit. Stun him. Stun him. Get out of there. Get out of there. Oh. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just can't. I can't bring myself to. I have seen Ancient Talrasha's necks, but I have never seen a good one. It's never. The whole time I've been using it. Oh. Okay. Woo! Bandit Shrine. That is my favorite. That's everybody's favorite shrine. What the fuck am I talking about? Okay, we're gonna go find an elite. Hopefully we find one close by. Then we're gonna come back and hit that. Because I really want my Engion proc going when I touch that thing. Oh, come on. There have got to be elites around here somewhere. There it is. There's one right there. Okay. Well, we don't want to kill them all at once. We don't leave at least one of these guys up and running. No, we don't want them to kill us either. Okay. Grab the Death's Breath. Kill this one. Kill these two. And then we're going to kill this one. And we're going to make a mad dash back here for the Bandit Shrine. Hit it. Kill off the elites. And then start killing bandits. No. You're not getting away. Nobody's getting away this time. Nobody's getting away. No, you're not getting away. Neither are you. Aha! The Bandit Shrine. We have triumphed. And of course, nothing really good dropped, but you just... It kills you when goblins get away. It really does. It's painful. It's painful to watch. But to have it happen to you. Oh. The humanity. That wasn't as many bandits as I'm used to getting in a Bandit Shrine. What the heck's up with that? I think we got hosed. Blizzard. Ryan, I don't know what you're referring to, otherwise I would answer that question. Oh, Katie, when you run into the giant pack of goblins, it's like Christmas. Absolutely like Christmas. And to be honest, I'm paying attention to chat so much that I'm really not. This is about the most inefficient set of bounty runs you could do. Why is it telling me that there's a... Did I miss a way to get down here? I did. Oh yeah, to hear them, they sing. They sing to you. They call to you. Enter the Elder Sanctum, clear the cursed chest. That's what we're going for. Not freeing barbarians. See, these guys, if you want to free them, watch this. Iron Cage, one click, boom. No channeling. Why can't we get that in the other acts? That's all I'm asking for. That's not a big ask. You gave me a whole new character class. I can't get a minor adjustment to how opening things works in other acts? You don't have to apologize, Ryan. You just gotta clarify. I'm happy to answer your question, but I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Oh, yeah. I wish I could stand in there and take those explosions. That'd make life a lot easier. Well, we're not getting in there that way. Oh, hey, chest. Of course, it has nothing in it, but... Oh. The Rift Guardian boss version of that guy on a high torment level rift. Oh. Do not like. Daddy, do not like. Yeah, when I have to hang out and just kind of wait, you know, stand there and do nothing, waiting for those explosions to happen, it's like, oh my god, seriously? This is never gonna happen. I know there's one of these that really sucks and I can't actually complete it for whatever reason. For whatever reason, they don't die fast enough or something. This may not be it, because it looks like there's a shit ton of these guys spawning, but... with this build, or with any build on my wizard, Katie? She's asking, what's the highest level Greater Rift I've cleared? In Dishonored 2's Stealth Clean Hands walkthrough number 1, you said, how does Emily's drop takedown not kill the guard you are drop takedown in? And also, I never got the strong arm bone charm. I may have asked that question. That's entirely possible. But for the strong arm bone charm, yeah, you're not gonna get. You're gonna have to find it across multiple playthroughs. That's how that works out. Right? You can't collect all of the bone charms in a single playthrough. But once you find it, you can disenchant it or whatever they call it, and then you'll have it for your like New Game Plus playthrough and stuff like that. So. And also any Greater Rift. It's on the wizard, obviously, and I think 81 was the highest one I got through. With my Arcane Orbit build, I'm at this like weird breaking point with the build where I just cannot physically do enough damage to push higher. I'm not dying, which is good, but I just effectively do not have the damage to push any higher into the Greater Rifts, which sucks. It limits my gem level to like 80, 81, right? Because after that, you're not 60% anymore. You're at God knows what else. Oh, let me guess. It's another, please channel this in order to free someone. Yeah, we'll jump into some Greater Rifts probably later tonight once we get done with Bounties. Because there are, what I would like to do is get a, I want to get a enchant on these. and I don't have any gems for them right now. Yeah, I'll totally show that to you later. And it will totally take me like a rift run or two to get used to using it again, because it's so totally different than this. Okay, hopefully everything that's going to try to attack me is done. As long as there are only 3 of these guys, it's not so bad, but they're occasionally like, hey, go save or channel 10 of these things. Like, oh yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Or 6. There's one where you have to come up and do 6 of them. It's like, really? Seriously? I have to stop for 6 of these frickin' things? Oh, Ryan, you're most welcome. I try to get back to everybody. Everybody that, like, is making normal comments. People who are assholes, I don't get back to them. I generally just ban them from the channel so I don't have to get emails and think it's a legitimate comment and then waste my time checking it to find out it's someone being an asshole. But otherwise, yeah, I try to get back to everybody. I figure if you ask a question, you probably want an answer, so it'd be kind of rude not to get back to you. It's my philosophy on it. Yeah, Katie, I find the wardrobe's whole gem equip thing to be annoying as well. I wish they would just take the gems and, like, if you could just, like, identify a tab that's gems, you know, say, hey, if you use this specific label on a tab in your bank, then any gems that get unequipped just go back in that tab, instead of sticking them in your inventory and making you dump them back in there. I feel you on that. That annoys the hell out of me. I mean, I understand why they unequip them, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, because they're wanting to give you the ability to use the same gems, the same legendary gems, you know what I mean, in 2 different gear sets. So I get the logic behind it, I just don't get the logic behind the implementation. I think there could have been an easier way to do that. Or whatever gem tab has the most gems in it, that's where they go or something, so people don't have to label their tabs, because that might be asking too much and people would complain about it. I don't know. It just seems to me like there might have been a more user-friendly approach to take with that. No goblin. Sorry, sometimes there's a goblin that stands over there. Always gotta check for him. Oh yeah. I hate those guys on high-level greater rifts when they start shielding elites. It's hard enough to kill them as it is, but when they start getting those shields and the damage reduction goes on them, oh, not happy. Not happy. Don't care. Yeah. The one, no one says anything about video thumbnails, and the Rob the Black Market's video thumbnail, like, when I thought about making that video, like, that was the thumbnail that popped into my head. When I imagined what it would look like, just something funny for the video, that's what I saw in my head. So when I found a picture that was close, I used that, and I've gotten so many comments from people about the thumbnail, like, oh, this isn't Dishonored 2. Oh, that's clickbait. Like, fucking, seriously? It's a joke. It was funny, okay? Like, I didn't put, like, some woman on there with giant boobs sticking out of her bra or something. It wasn't clickbait. It was just a joke. Oh, people are so weird. I might have got more views if I did that, but... No. Play with my daughters. No thanks. Okay, I will show you those gloves I was talking about too. So these from the Del Sears Magnum Opus set. So this set, the Arcane Orbit build that I used for this set, you know, really relies on area damage a lot. So it's got 20% area damage rolled on it, obviously, but it came with intelligence, crit hit damage that is 2% off perfect, crit hit chance, which is 0.5% off perfect, and then I was able to roll area damage on there. So it's like those non-ancient gloves are so good. Like, how do you... It's not like they're boots where you could be like, okay, well, it's 50%, you know, it's 50 less intelligence, but I'll still take it. There's so many good things to get on gloves that if you don't get the right roll, it's like, even if they're ancient, so what if you put another couple hundred intelligence on there? You're taking a hit to, like, main stats that, you know, you really want for your build, so... I got these as my, like, one of my first re-rolls. And I've never been able to replace them since. So frustrating. Ryan. Yeah, I know you didn't make a comment like that. But still, I get comments. Well, I get stupid comments all the time, as you can probably imagine. But that's one video that I've gotten a lot of comments. Or usually people won't comment directly. Sometimes they'll just message me directly and send me a message about it, you know, a nastygram, because they don't want to sound like a jerk in comments and get lit up by other people who don't like what they say, so they'll just privately message me with nasty comments. And of course, since I actually pay attention to that stuff, I of course see all of it. Oh, if you're ever doing this bounty right here, the Cursed Shrines, if you ever get that, you absolutely want to make sure you're wearing your Nemesis bracers, because that is just free elites to kill. We'll show you that when I get over there, but that's one of my favorite bounties. I love that bounty. Cleanse the cursed chest. Kill 100 enemies. I hope it's not in here. In that realm, when you hit one of those kill 100 enemies cursed chests, there's those little, I don't even know what they are. I want to call them octopuses, but they're not octopuses. Or octopi? Octopuses? What's the plural of octopus? Is it octopus? Is it like moose? I think that's a question that'll go unanswered. Is it octopi? Is it like geese and goose? Octopus? Oh, it is going to be on this one. Good lord. I hate these things right here. With the 3 legs and they shoot the poison and they always do that backpedal moonwalk thing where they jump away from you. Ugh, hate it. Octomies. I think Octomies is a good one for them, yes. But I think Octomies is multiple Octomoms. I think that's what that is. See, I'm telling you, it's going to be these guys and the guys with the little tiny ones. And if you give them just a half second of pause, they'll float away from you and pull you out of the kill zone, so it makes it harder to get this one. It makes it harder to get this one for me. I'm not sure it does for anybody else, but... See, we got 8 seconds left, and I still don't have all of them killed like I should. Huh, 2 seconds left. Finally got it. And there's the last one. Let's see, Cursed Shrines, kill Ragnaroth, that's good, he's easy to kill. Aspect of Hatred, and let's do this, we'll do Cursed Shrines or second to last. I spent my dinner discussing the Twilight Saga with a 13-year-old, I need violence. Oh, Shadow. I think it might be Octopi. I don't really know. That I would honestly have to Google that, which makes me feel incredibly incompetent. That I don't know that off the top of my head. For some reason, I feel like I should. I'm not sure why. I feel like that's knowledge I should just be able to whip out on someone, but for some reason, I feel like that's, I'm somehow failing as a human being, not knowing that. I would imagine that was brutal. I no longer play Xbox. No, I do not, Ryan. It's Octopi. Okay. Thank you. Let's go here. Oh yeah, kill 125, no problem. I hate getting frozen. I do actually love to get frozen when there's like 15 arcane bars on the floor, and then like 5 frost things go off on top of me, and then I just get frozen and have to sit there while the arcane bars just pass right through me and kill me. Not that that's ever happened to me, but I'm just saying, if it did, I wouldn't like it. Oh, give me an arrow. Give me some direction of where you want me to go. Thank you. At this point in the life of the game, in Diablo 3, I find it challenging to still accept the notion that fully showing the map at all times when you're in a given area is somehow going to allow you to compromise the game in a fashion that will be unacceptable to the developers, or them giving you that initial pointer immediately when you get on a level is somehow going to change the game in a way that will make it no longer fun. I mean, like, yes, walking around aimlessly looking for shit that was fun, like, the first time through, but maybe we give that, maybe an option to do that would be helpful. Turn it on, turn it off, that type of thing. That way, if you really want the challenge, but if you'd really not like to walk around aimlessly, you could avoid that. See, I'm full of good ideas for things we can add to the game. Quality of life enhancements. That's what I would like to call those. Quality of life enhancements. Because that's what they really are. I'm not asking for, like, every elite to drop 15 legendaries, because that'd be ridiculous. But, you know, just some simple things. Okay, this level, the Killing Grounds, the Cursed Shrines, this is why you want your Nemesis Bracers, because they every time you touch a shrine, elites will spawn. Which means more chances at legendaries, more chances at Death's Breath, all that stuff. Hey, Ari, what's going on, buddy? Yeah, Katie. All right, Rakanoth, here we come. Do you think you would play Team Fortress 2? Ryan, absolutely not. No. I don't do a lot of shooters, and I most definitely do not do multiplayer games like that. I just don't have time for it, and my schedule's so crazy that I can't guarantee that I'll like be online to play with like a group of people who are like my team and like counting on me to be online to play on a given night or something. So that's why I don't play like any like real MMOs where it's like, hey, join a guild, raid, blah blah blah. I don't have the ability to make that kind of commitment. In my younger days, I did, when life was a lot simpler. Is there a shrine somewhere? There's a chest. No shrine. It's such a disappointment. Usually before you go in and kill him, there's like a shrine or an experience pool or something like that. Huh, lightning, that sounds fun. It's always great when you have buggy internet. Oh, no. Good. No outsider shrines. Although I think the outsider and Diablo might get along pretty well. You know what? Maybe we should repair. Yeah. Maybe a little bit. Alright, Act 5. Oh. Whoops. No. Uzrael. Ugh. Okay, so Act 5 is like my nemesis. Having to kill Mouth or Uzi here can be a little bit difficult with this build on the higher torment levels. On T10, I just wreck them, but 12 and 13, it's kind of amateur hour. Well, most of the gameplay I do is amateur hour, but you've come to expect that, so. Oh, God. What are we doing here? Kill a big worm. Oh, I guess we should have talked to Tyrael at some point, right? This is not the big worm. Oh, hey, what? Well, I see StarCraft Remastered is coming back out, so I'm hoping Diablo, the original Diablo, will get remastered and released. I know we talked about that on one of the previous streams, but thinking if I say it enough, maybe it'll actually happen. Katie, are you talking about Mouth or are you talking about Uzi? Holy shit. You see that thing almost killed me. Ugh. Okay. No, get him. No. Oh, I squeezed out of there so. Woo, skin of my teeth. Let's go get our reward here real quick. Ryan, I do not know. I'm waiting on DLC. Oh, Mal, yeah, absolutely. Like, you know, he's one of those bosses that, just like Uzi is, where they have this weird transition phase where no matter how much damage you do to them, even with Diablo, same thing, right? No matter how much damage you do to them, they just stop taking damage. Yet they can continue to put out damage. So even though you're like totally raping them in damage and they should be dead, they're just sitting at like 60% health, kicking out damage, and you're sitting there and, you know, dying or whatever, where they should already be dead. Yeah, I don't like that fight for that very reason. I hate that he stops taking damage at some point and just kind of stands there, yet he still does damage, and it... No. No. Do not like that. That's one of the reasons that on the high torment level it makes it difficult for me, because I'm not super tanky, but I can put out a lot of damage. But that doesn't really matter in that fight because you're going to get blasted by him anyways. It's so hard to avoid. I see an arrow. And elites that are going to explode. What is this? The stupid elites that never spawn. Okay, there's one set of elites. Now where's the second set? Let me stand here and play with myself until they show up. I don't like this bounty because of this. They take way too long to show up. Nothing to do, nothing to do. And they drop nothing, which is even better. So not only you make me stand around, but the elites don't drop anything, which is even better. So it makes it even more worth killing them. There's a lot of hate for this zone because of these red pools. Overthrow Lord of Bog Hill. Oh, an arrow would be helpful right about now. Would I recommend Diablo? Absolutely. Well, it's got to be your kind of game. I know people who are totally gamers, in my opinion, and Diablo is not their thing. They played it and they're like, nah, cool game, but just not for me. So, Param, long time no see. How are you? I enjoy the hell out of Diablo, but I've been playing it since, you know, the first Diablo, so I have kind of a history with it. But for some people, this is not their thing, and it's not because they're not gamers, it's just Diablo's not their thing. Oh, I know what this is. This is Donkey Kong. Okay, well, I want that topaz because, let's face it, I need them. This is Donkey Kong Blizzard style. If he would just throw exploding barrels at you, it would be so much better. So much more true to form. And of course, he drops nothing. I can't even teleport down there. Are you kidding me? I think I heard... No way. Did I hear a goblin? Oh, God! Shit, it's a rainbow goblin! That's the best goblin ever! Okay. Well, we're going back to town to empty our inventory. Alright, Ryan. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Take care. The Rainbow Goblin has arrived. Alright. Clean out the inventory. I didn't know we were going to find one tonight during the stream. Otherwise, I wouldn't have posted a video about it. Oh, goodness. Okay. Oh, wait. Nope. Garbage. Okay. Repair. Done. Ready to rock and roll. In we go. Oh, I love this place so much. And I need to make more Royal Topaz because I ran out. So this is good. Hey, maybe the wings will show up in this one. I haven't gotten them yet. Probably not, but it would be pretty sick if they showed up during stream. What? I was expecting, like, at least one legendary to drop out of that. I'm not gonna lie, I really was. Ooh, I see a loot pinata. Ryan, I have had a request to play Dark Souls, and it's definitely high on my list of things I want to do. It's just, once again, time. I've played it before, and it can get a little bit frustrating, so... But it's definitely high on my list, so... That's a lot better chance of it showing up on the stream than there is Team Fortress 2. Something down here that we missed. Yes. Presents! And of course, there are no presents inside the presents, just garbage. Wasu the Defiled. How does one defile a unicorn? You know what? I don't even want to know. I'm getting flashes of like donkey shows in Mexico. I don't want to think about that. Oh wait, look, it's... one legendary has dropped. Okay. Theoretically, on Torment 12, we should have better luck with legendaries than we did in the video on Torment 10. But it's not working out that way. At all. I think we're being punished. I'll take all the gems, though. I'm not complaining. I mean, I am complaining, but, you know. First world problems. You know what I'm saying? First world problems. There are plenty of those people out there that have no rainbow goblins and can only dream of them, so... There we go. A ring. Oh. Is that like the most epic, ancient compass rose I've ever seen? I think it is. It's a good thing it can't be a Blackthorn's ring, otherwise that's what it would be. You know that's true. Okay, what do we got to do? We got a section up here we haven't seen. We've got teddy bear parts just floating around the map. Randomly. It's pretty bad when you walk back over the carnage and there's like half a teddy bear just like floating around. Damn, Damn, we still got a little bit to clear out, don't we? Oh, there's nothing down here. Come on, get out of here. Man, this one wound up being kind of crap compared to the one last night. Well, oh, one more gems. I think that's it. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Maybe this little curve up here that we haven't seen leads to a whole other section of the map just full of good stuff. It had some good stuff of its own, though. I'll take it. I'll take it. Maybe that legendary belt was like a super amazing witching hour. Maybe. It could be. Could be. Right? Alright, we gotta see what we got. Wow. That's just downright disappointing. Is what that is. Ugh. Oh, I got ancient legendary pox faults though. I mean, thank God for that. Not even an ancient focus. Rogar's huge stone. That's the ring we picked up. Nice. That's almost as good as Blackthorns. No, I shouldn't have cleaned out my inventory. See, I identified too many legendary items too soon in proximity to going into the Rainbow Goblin world, and it penalized me for that. It realized that I'd already gotten my allotment of legendaries for the hour, and it was like, you know what? Screw you, buddy. That's it. You're done. No more for you. Oh, this is what I'm talking about. I hate this. Fiery passion, hate. Because once again, gotta channel it. This is the only time I would ever complain about the graveyard. Because the graveyard is generally the single most awesome place you can find in a rift. Except for a giant prison level, I have to say. Or an endless straight sewer map where you just run in a straight line and kill everything. That's always fun. Really? Seriously? This is what we're doing? Stop attacking me. Right in mid-channel I get hit. Well, let me kill these 7,000 guys over here so that I can go over here and channel this without getting attacked. As a zombie comes walking my way. Get him, Templar, get him. Alright, I thought I saw a chest up here. Yep. Two more to go. Where they're at, nobody knows. But we just killed an elite, which means we do have the power of infinite teleporting for a short period of time. Oh, there's another elite. Look at that. Oh, they must be down here. Somewhere. There's one, there's two. Oh, come on. Let me have it. Thought that dude was gonna snipe me again before I got it. Thank God this one's over. Jeez. Alright, now we get to see if we can kill him on T12. This is gonna be hit and miss. Last time I tried this, I died. If I absolutely have to, I will swap builds. I'd really like to avoid doing that nonsense. Where are the elites? Jesus. Is that an elite pet? No. Oh, the fun is about to begin. And all the talking, like, this is Bounties, I don't need quest talking. And he's about to stop taking damage. And even though, look at all that damage he's still taking, but he's taking absolutely none of it. He could have been down to 50%. Oh, this is gonna be bad. Oh, watch out. Thank you, Templar. No, no. Oh, oh, God. Whoa. Oh, the luck is real. The luck is real. I didn't think we were going to make it out of that one alive, to be honest. Alright, Tyrael. Give me my just reward. They really do need to eliminate the cutscenes from Bounties. I completely agree. Alright, let's crack these open. So you can see, like, this area at War Tapestry got 14 of them. So it's because we're running on Torment 12. You get 4 extra. As I was saying, like Torment 11, I think you get 2 extra. And I'm assuming on Torment 13, you're getting 6 extra. That's why, even though it takes a little bit longer, I like doing it. Insatiable belt. No. No. Oh, an ancient royal ring of grandeur. Yes, because we always wear one of those. Pandemonium loop. I use that so often. It's amazing that I don't have it equipped right now. And a belt for the barbarian. Okay, good times. Repair. Leave game. Oh, hey, exactly where I want to start. Act 1. Cool. Everybody taking a 30-second break. I'll be right back. I'm going to use a restroom, grab something to drink, and I'll be back on. So stick with me. Be back in just a sec. All right. What do we got? Eternal War, that one's easy. Kill Haines, no big deal. The Tribune Reborn. Oh, the Triune Reborn. Is this the one where we had to deal with the altars? Let's take a look at that. If that's what this is, we're going to have to get this out of the way first. Yes. 4 channeling. Really? There's usually like a something good down there. We got a shitty spawn this time. Usually down there's at least a health well, or an experience pool, or sometimes you get really lucky into a shrine, which is awesome. Okay. And we get to channel 5 of them too. It's even better. And kill off all the random guys that are around so we can successfully channel. Do a little deforestation here, kill off some trees. No one will ever accuse me of being a tree hugger after watching this video. And that's the last one that we have a definitive confirmation on its location. So now we get to go hunt. Aha! Look, shrine. This makes hunting easier. Okay, there's 4. Where's 5? Really? Wow, that little chest had a lot of loot in it. That's right. Stun him, Templar. Keep him off me for a second. Templar is just the best companion in my opinion. The stuns that he can rock are so nice. Alright, how many random guys do I have to kill in order to actually kill the ones I want? Ugh. Can we sneak it? Is it possible? Can we get out? Oh, look at that. Good thing is, occasionally on this map, there's a goblin. Either down here or up top. Occasionally. Trying to get the rest of his things to spawn so we get our NGM proc. Make a little bit of loop through here. Can't skip killing too many of them. Although there are a lot more up here, obviously. Let me have a goblin. Don't make a liar out of me. Alright. Let's see here. This one's easy. Oh, no. There we go. They'd only put the teleport point in the same spot every time. It'd be a lot easier to find this Eternal War Monument thing. I swear we got an arrow down here. There it is. Oh, time to stand still. Let them come to us. As the Templar blocks them. Ah, but the ghost won't come to us. We'll just fly over the map and keep us from completing the quest. Hey, Sauerkraut. What's up, buddy? Shrine. You can almost always be guaranteed to find a shrine in the courtyard. Now we just have to kill enough of them that they don't attack me when I try to leave. There we go. Back killing the queen. Well, I'm glad you were able to stop by for this one. I definitely know what it's like to be busy, though. Well, the queen is definitely not that way. Or that way. Yeah, the very first bandit shrine that I ever found was on this map. I had no idea what it was. I just clicked it and goblins started popping out everywhere. Needless to say, they didn't all get killed. I was very disappointed because I had no idea what to expect. I just clicked it like, oh, this must spawn elites or something, and next thing I know, it's spawning goblins. Finally an elite pack. Yeah, Shadow. Whatever way the arrow is pointing, assume that is the exact opposite direction that you actually need to go to get to the arrow. Yeah, we'll get her next time. Templar can only stun her for so long, unfortunately. Hey, where are we at on... Ugh. Not quite. Act 2. Clear the Western Channel. I love these. This map I like. I don't even mind the dead ends. It's fine. Perfectly fine. I can't resist doing this event. It's so easy and so quick. Yes, I would like a $250,000 gold. That's perfectly okay with me. Survey says no legendaries. I really hate the fact that they nerfed the resplendent chests. Ooh, look, a goblin. I'm surprised they haven't nerfed the goblins. Like, people are farming goblins way too often. We're gonna have to reduce the legendary drop rate and occurrence of goblins. Like, okay. Enter the flooded cave, cleanse the cursed chest. Well, the only arrow on the map is the guy that drops the boxes for the Hellfire Ring, so we'll go towards that arrow. Oh, wait. I heard a goblin somewhere, and now I must hunt for him. Where is that goblin? He had to have been close enough for me to hear him, but frankly, I heard him, like, right here. There he is. Oh, Daddy like the gem goblins right now. When you're low on gems, the gem goblins are always good. Clear the waves. It's better than kill 100 enemies. At least I like it more. Yeah, crossing the bridge in Act 3 is always a pain. I agree. Although I have to say, Act 5, getting to Mouth, having to take all those portals, ugh, that's pretty annoying. Okay, Black Canyon Mines is obviously north. We need to kill at least like 40 to 60 of these guys before we go over there, though. Yeah, you always go, when you, for the bounty, you always go towards the portal. Like, I used to always forget that you're not going back into the level and that they actually drop you fairly close to him. And I'd go wander halfway through the level and go, oh, whoops. I have to go all the way back to the beginning. Can we find any decent sized groups, maybe? No, but I will take that shrine. Maybe there's a shrine right here. Hey, there is. I love the guys that run away. It's always so much fun to chase them. Oh, we're so close. Let's please be done with this map. This is like a double whammy, like double transitions and into low pop map. No enemies to kill. Things that run away from you. Hey, look. I didn't even hear this one. Oh no. No. Don't be trying to freeze me while I'm chasing a goblin. That's just bad form. Okay. Oh, sauerkraut. Nope, not for me, man. I got a friend that plays, and he likes it, but that's not my type of game, brother. Player Unknown Battlegrounds is what he was asking about. It's just, it looks cool. I've seen it. It's just not my thing. I mean, neither is Heroes of the Storm. Totally not a game I would ever play, but I like to watch it. So we're either going to do this event and it's going to... Yeah, there we go. I think I've actually failed this event before because of the way all the enemies are get spaced out like this. And there's these casters that stand off at a distance. I know there's at least one of them that I consistently fail for some reason. And I think this is the one. Oh, we got it. Nice. And I hate this map as well because I always get turned around to the point where I have no idea where the exit is. This is the single worst map I can ever get on a rift. On like a greater rift where I'm trying, you know, you're pushing up against time and then you can't find the exit. Shadow, I'll have to tell you, all things are relative. At least from a certain point of view. Hey, chest, look. Ugh. There could have been like 5 legendaries in there. Shut up. It could have happened. Could have been the best normal chest that anyone has ever seen. That could have been that one. It was very important that we open it. Oh, boring conversation anyways. Whoop, we're gonna have company. Alright. See, look at it. He's barely taking any damage. There we go. I killed Diablo the other day, and he actually dropped 2 legendaries. I was shocked. I haven't seen Diablo cough up a legendary on a kill forever. Oh. Alright, who are we killing? Tomekeeper. Well, when you have a full-time job and drinking is not your sole source of entertainment, for most people, that's true. But that all depends on your age and blah, blah, blah. So I'd say whatever you like doing and gives you, you think is fun, that's the most important thing, man. Because I gotta tell you, life is short. A lot shorter than you think. You gotta enjoy what of it you are able to experience in whatever way you see fit. Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? Could all be over. That means the stream is mom approved. Just because mom can't hear the audio and the random conversations and some of the poor language that occasionally happens on stream. I'm not sure it would be mom approved at that point then. That means your mom's kind of like my mom. I don't know if I told this story on stream once, but so when I think it was probably a senior in college. I'd given up living on campus because it was too expensive, and I'd moved home to live with my folks for the last year of college. And hold on, goblins. Oh, there's a whole pack of goblins here. What's going on? Oh, there were 2. That's weird. Anyways, so I think I'm like 20. And by that time, I pretty much finished growing. So I'm like, 6 foot, about 170. And my mom is not quite 4 feet tall. Tiny woman, She works out, blah, blah, blah. But she's short. She's tiny. She's very petite. Okay? But she's a spitfire. And she has a crazy temper. I mean, my mom, you do not want to screw with my mom. So she's been telling me for like a month, because at the time I'm on this kick of drinking a lot of Gatorade, okay? So I'm drinking it with breakfast, lunch, dinner all the time, drinking it, as a snack, whatever. She's telling me, you gotta stop drinking so much Gatorade, it's getting too expensive, we can't afford to buy as much anymore. Because, I'm living at home, and obviously I'm not buying groceries, my parents are buying groceries. So she's been just on me for like a month to stop drinking so much Gatorade, and I'm like, okay, So we finally exhaust the supply of Gatorade, except for like 2 bottles that are still left in the basement, and then she drags me out of bed one morning to go grocery shopping with her so I can, carry the bags to the car, etc., etc. And we go down the aisle in the middle of the grocery store. It's a Saturday morning, so the grocery store is full of people. And we walk down the aisle that has the Gatorade in the aisle. And it's up on a shelf really high. It's much higher than she can reach. And she says, reach up there and get yourself a couple bottles of Gatorade. And I said, Mom, it's fine. We don't need any more. I've got 2 bottles in the basement. You told me that I was drinking too much, so it's not a big deal. I don't need it. And she says, reach up there and get yourself a couple bottles of Gatorade. I'm like, Mom, it's fine. There's a couple bottles in the basement. It's no big deal. So she grabs me by the shirt, pulls me towards her, and points her finger at me and says, reach up there and get yourself a couple bottles of Gatorade. And then she proceeds to start kicking me in the leg in the middle of the grocery store. I'm a grown-ass man, 20 years old. My mother's like kicking the shit out of me in the middle of the grocery store because I want to reach up and get Gatorade. She told me not to buy anymore. She told me to stop drinking. My mom, she was just freaking out in the middle of the grocery store, kicking my ass. That's my mom. That is my mom. I love her to death. She is a Spitfire. You're never too old to have your mother embarrass you in public. That's the moral of that story. Oh, I heard another goblin. Good lord, it's like Goblin Palooza in here tonight. Yeah, she was serious about that Gatorade. Like, I mean, I did not know that I thought I was just like doing what she told me to do. Like, I wasn't trying to like, you know, sass her or, you know, backtalk her by any means. I was just trying to follow her instructions, but she wasn't fucking around, man. She was serious about getting that Gatorade. Oh God. Lost Patrol, you know what that means. Channeling. Tell me there's 3. Thank God. Thought I remember this was one where there was only 3. She's also a wonderful cook. Like, this is a woman that she would work 50 hours a week easily and still somehow manage to put dinner on the table every single night by the time she got home, right? There was never a time Mom didn't cook dinner and we didn't eat as a family. Just amazing cook, amazing mom all around, right? Blah, blah, blah. Well, anytime she would make anything and there would be company over or like the whole family would be together, whatever she made, it didn't matter what it was horrible. She made lasagna for everyone. Best lasagna you'd ever have in your life. She'd be like, the lasagna, it's a little runny this time. It's not this, it's not that. The noodles didn't come out right, this, whatever. Always that. She made apple pie. Best apple pie you'd ever taste in your life. And she'd be like, oh, the apple pie's watery. It's no good. It's horrible. Okay, so that's her shtick. She's never as impressed with her own cooking as everyone else is. Alright, so I'm in college again. All the good stories came from college. And I live on campus, and a lot of my friends are all from out of town, but I live within like 45 minutes of my house, so I just wanted to live on campus for the experience. I didn't want to be a dirty commuter. And so all my friends are from out of town, right? They haven't had home cooking in, you know, months. So my mom, who never sees me because I'm at school and I'm a bad son and don't come home to visit her, says, why don't you get some of your friends together, come on home, and I'll cook you guys a meal, and that way, a little home cooking for the boys. I'm like, that's great. Sure, whatever, I'll ask them. I'm thinking these guys aren't really going to care one way or the other, but, you know, I bring it up, and everybody's like, hell yes, we're going to your house to have dinner. Whatever your mom's making is great. So there's going to be a lot of them. I think there were 5 guys that came over. And, well, my mom made lasagna. And of course, she does her typical thing. She makes it, it's great, you know, everything is great, the meal's perfect, and she's the whole time, she doesn't have it on the table for more than 30 seconds where she's already telling them, you know, sorry guys, it's not going to be very good tonight, you know, there was this that was wrong with it, or that was wrong with it, blah, blah, blah. Well, the guys don't say anything, you know, they're really, you know, polite, and you know, they appreciate the fact that my mom cooked dinner and whatever, and we all hop into the car to go home, and one of the guys says, man, what's wrong with your mom? I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, dude, that was the best lasagna I have ever had, and your mom was totally downplaying it the whole time. And everybody was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, dude, you just gotta know my mom. She does that with us too. Holidays, oh, the turkey's dry, the turkey's this, turkey's that. Yeah, she's crazy. So that's like a running joke in the family now. Every time mom puts food on the table, we're like, oh, it must be terrible. Oh. Oh, I remember this one. This one's gonna be outside somewhere. I did live on campus. Yeah, I lived on campus for 2.5 years. But living on campus was pretty much cost as much as tuition. Like literally, it was almost an even split between how much a year of living on campus cost plus a year of tuition. And of course, tuition was fairly cheap back then, so I mean, it was even with living on campus, it was only like $20,000 a year. So. But still, it was too expensive. Tuition was bad enough. Oh, we get to go kill Asmodonk. Sweet. I think anybody who goes to a 4-year college, you have to at least live on campus for 2 years. At least one. You know, 2 preferably if you can afford it, but it's really a different experience than than just like kind of driving in to go to class and then leaving. And it's not just because like there's parties and other stuff like that. It's just you know, if it's your first like taste of freedom, getting out of the house, being away from your parents and stuff, I think it forces you to grow up a little bit and be responsible, you know, for your own schedule and your food and, you know, pretty much everything. Teaches you how to take care of yourself a little bit. Now, if you live close to home and you live on campus, you know, you can still get the best of both worlds. You can still get mom to cook for you and, you know, take your laundry home, have her do your laundry for you, stuff like that. Now, I never did that, but I know I say stuff like that all the time, and I actually did do it, but in this case, I really did never do that, but as I said, that's just because I was a bad son, and once I got to college, I never really went home unless it was on break or something like that. But I think at that point in your life, you're at your most selfish. Where if it doesn't involve school, which takes up most of your time, whatever work you're doing because you want money, so you can have money to spend, or your friends. Like, there's not a lot of time for anybody else or anything else. And it's unfortunate, but it's just kind of a fact of that point in your life. Not necessarily because you're a bad person. I mean, I am a bad person, but that wasn't why I didn't go home, because I was a bad person. It was just too many other things going on that were, at the time, were important to me. They weren't really important, but they were important at the time to me, so... Alright. And I'm just babbling on, talking about shit, and not paying attention when we complete the, complete the bounties. Alright, let's go kill Asmo Dunk. He's my favorite boss to kill. He's my favorite boss in the whole game. I have no idea why, I just love him. Yeah, Shadow, that's true. I think you have to be a little bit older before you truly do. So, like, my parents are divorced, right? So I had a dad, stepmom, mom, stepdad, and, you know, I lived with my mom and stepdad, and, you know, when my stepdad married my mom, you know, she had me and my sister, and she was by herself. She didn't have anything. I mean, we had nothing. We were poor as shit. And he was a single guy, obviously, but, you know, he had, you know, a house, and, you know, we were skipping out on rent to get an apartment for a month and then move on. I mean, so he had everything, and yeah, he decided to, you know, marry my mom and, you know, try to give us a good life. And, you know, if it weren't for him, I wouldn't have. A lot of things in my life I wouldn't have accomplished. And even as a kid, you know, he always tried to be there for me and do things for me, go to my baseball games, you know, take me to baseball practice, you know, the batting cages, help me with wrestling. He was a Golden Gloves boxer, so, you know, teach me to, you know, defend myself. And I just, you know, I never really appreciated the fact that how differently my life would have turned out if that man had married my mother and done as much for me as he did, or tried to do, which I didn't let him do a lot because I was a kid and I was an idiot. But, and I didn't treat him very well, and I didn't, you know, I didn't appreciate what he was really, you know, how hard his life had become once we came into the picture, and how much sacrifice he made. So, but later in life, obviously, you know, I did, but yeah, it's kind of messed up. You don't think about the world that way as a kid. It's not how your brain works. I was lucky. I was really lucky. I have honestly never seen that before. That is getting thrown in the cube. Yeah, I was only 2 when my parents got divorced, so I really didn't know. You know what I mean? I didn't really understand what all was going on. I guess I knew my dad wasn't there anymore, but then again, I really didn't, because when you're 2, what do you really know? And of course, I don't remember a lot of that. But so I never had made that choice. You know, my dad wanted us to live with my mom, so that's kind of how it worked out. But that's always tough. Okay, did I repair? Repair would be helpful. We haven't repaired in a while, apparently. Easy, easy. That one's not bad. Oh, we really lucked out on this one. Shadow. Talking about some real shit tonight, baby. I just heard a goblin. He is not getting away from me. Damn, that thing sucked me halfway across the map. You see that? Shadow. No, there should be. Oh. I wish. Nah, I mean, I know that was a joke, but I wish I could talk to kids about, like high school kids, about suicide. I really do. I wish there was a way just to be able to get kids who are of that age to truly listen to somebody and appreciate the fact that the scope of their world is so narrow when you were in high school. It's so fucking narrow. Like, you have no concept of what the world is really like and all that is before you in life. And that the things that are going on that seem so important at that time of your life mean absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things. Yet people get so, or kids get so wrapped up in that age and like their friends or the friends that they don't have, and you know, this person made fun of me, or this person did this or whatever, and you know, this person doesn't like me or whatever. It just so how inconsequential that shit really is, and to, you know, my life is so bad, I just can't take it anymore, and to end their life with, it's so pointless. It's such a shame. Because that shit just doesn't matter. I mean, it just really doesn't matter. But it's like a weird trial by fire that everybody has to go through, and you know, some kids just don't make it out alive, unfortunately, and it's a shame. It's hard to, you know, communicate to someone and get them to understand that what they think is important just is not important at all, and get them to believe it. Where are the rest of that guy's friends? They must have died quick. Yeah, I see that stuff on, like, you know, news posts and stuff all the time, and it just eats me up. I think this is the one that I failed. Yeah. I don't know why. I think it's the position of the enemies. That's pretty cool, Shadow. Yeah, we have a something called Big Brothers, Big Sisters in our area, and my buddy's a big brother to somebody. Has been for like 6 years now, and yeah, it's really had an impact on his life and the kid's life. Obviously, he's not a kid anymore. Christ, you know, he's like, I don't know, like 19, but that kind of stuff really makes a difference for people who have the time to do it. Where are my bound shaman? Meh, Shadow. Life experience is valuable, both good and bad, so... as long as you learn from the choices that you make that don't work out well, I think that's the most important part. It's the people that keep making the same bad decisions over and over again that... I feel are kind of failing at life. Yeah, sauerkraut, I hear you. It's even worse when you're getting that at home and you're getting, you know, shit at school, and I mean, there's no port in the storm, you know. And that's his father's fault for being a piece of shit and doing that. Don't get me wrong, I think occasionally there's some value to be gained with hitting your kids. I occasionally got the shit kicked out of me, and it was because I deserved it. It wasn't because any other thing other than that. I legitimately deserved it. But there's a difference between, you know, like punishing your kids and just being an asshole and beating on your kids because you're a bitch. Sometimes you do need to get spanked. I mean, that's a fact of life. Ow. What the? Yeah, Sour, they say violence is not a solution to anything, but at the same time, it's people like that where I really want to kick the shit out of them for doing that. or the guy that gets drunk and just like beats his wife for no reason. You know, it's like, okay. Violence isn't the solution, but for people like that, you know, it kind of is. Yeah, and it's hard when you don't have anybody to talk to about it. You know, you hope that you have a real close friend that, you know, you feel comfortable, you know, telling them about it, or just being able to talk to somebody. Not being able to talk to anybody is, let me tell you, it's rough. I mean, it's not fun. You just feel completely and totally alone and isolated, and oh, gelatinous. Let the loot explosion begin. Yeah, Shadow, and sometimes that's just as bad, man, or worse. You know, they say you can pick your friends, or you can't pick your parents, or you can't pick your family. And, I mean, it's just... that's rough, brother. Sometimes we have serious conversations on the stream. That's all right. Other times we have the most ridiculous conversations ever. I'm sorry, pudding pops. Let's face it. There's both ends of the spectrum, okay? Yes, vaping, absolutely. Cursed Shrines again. Look at that. Lightning, I think most kids would kill for that. The only homework my mother ever did for me was, if I ever had to write a paper, I would write it, but then she would type it for me on the computer because I couldn't type to save my life. I thought typing. Women type. I don't need to learn to type. Get out of here. What kind of stupid idea is that? Mom, can you type this for me? Lightning, that is what we call a catch-22. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Life is full of those. Why is there an elite? Jeez, really? This is really not the time I need an elite to come into the battle. Got old Frosty the Snowman shooting snowballs at me, and 15 elites. No typewriter. No typewriter. By the time anything had to be typed, there was a computer. I did do a internship with an accounting firm, and the financial statements, some of them, like some of the stuff that got entered on the financial statements didn't actually get printed out. It had to actually be put in a typewriter and typed out, which still like blew my mind, because like at the time everything is done on a computer, and there were still a few things that had to be typed on that thing, and they were manually typed, and then they were like copied. Oh yeah, come on. That was the only printer there was, man. The old green bar paper. Okay, where the fuck are we even going? Let me take you on a tour of West March Commons. Over here we have some random rundown house. Over here, there's the yellow arrow, but we're going in the opposite direction. Not because we're doing that on purpose, but because we're not really paying attention. That's before my time, brother. Although I am surprised that Scantron is still a thing, but... Although the first time I voted in my state, I was surprised that it wasn't the first time I'd ever voted, because I moved states, but I went to the polling place, and the lady literally had like this pad of paper like glued together that you could tear sheets off of, and she literally tore my ballot off this sheet and gave it to me, said there are pens on the table. I'm like, what are you talking about? And I get there, and I'm wondering why everyone is like hunched over their ballots. I'm like, ooh, super secret process. No, they weren't hunched over their ballots because they were trying to keep what they were doing secret. They were hunched over them because there were like big, like square boxes that you had to color in with a pen in order to vote. I'm like, seriously? We're coloring in the boxes. What century are we in? Is this like, Jesus, this is like 1982? What's going on? Yep, coloring in the boxes. High-tech shit. Yeah. I was pretty surprised. I mean, the elections all go pretty smooth, which is nice, and the election workers around here are amazing. Like, considering these people are volunteers, oh, I couldn't do it, but they do a fantastic job. But at the same time, that totally threw me. Eventually, I got used to it, but that was a bit of a shock. Hell, I've been in schools recently that still have chalkboards, and I don't understand it. Makes no sense to me whatsoever. Like, why do you not just have whiteboards in all your classrooms? Like the big, long whiteboards. Makes no sense. I mean, even that's a little technologically inferior, but shit. Chalkboards still? They're such a pain in the butt. Shadow, are you being facetious, or is this really your favorite level? I don't like it on my mage because I can't teleport around when I want to because of the closed doors prevent you from teleporting between between rooms through the walls. Don't get me wrong, it's by far not my least favorite level, but yeah, the massacre bonus are nice. You can pretty much just keep one running through the whole map because of those little guys. Cursed shrines. Oh god. Frozen and molten all at the same time. Oh. That would have sucked. The Cursed Shrines actually gets you a pretty good massacre bonus if you don't clear it out too quickly. I've had it get over like 300. Because those little things just keep spawning. Like, you can't go anywhere and not run into them. And that was 264, so... And it's good because you're killing elites during that time, right? So it's even better bonus. Now we get to see if we can do this again and not die. It was a little tenuous last time, I gotta say. At least it felt that way to me. Hey, congrats, Ryan. Now it's time to start New Game Plus and do it all over again. Hey, knock that off. Stop it. Oh, hey, look. Blackthorn's belt. What do you want to bet? Blackthorn's notched belt. Isn't that what it's called? Blah, blah, blah. Shut up. I know you're evil. Oh my god. I'm not taking damage anymore, but I'm dishing it out. No. Not standing in front of you. No. Stun him. Come on, stun him. There you go. Hey, you're welcome, Ryan. MC's Rules on Gaming. You should have picked that book up. It's available at Amazon.com and at your favorite bookstores all over the country. Chapter 1 is entitled Save Early, Save Often, with a subtitle of This Will Save Your Ass. And a whole chapter on saving. So you should go pick that up. Amazon.com, Google. MC's Rules on Gaming. My new book is coming out soon. It's called 7 Habits of Highly Effective Gamers. It's going to be a New York Times bestseller. Who called that? Who called that? Though, let's be honest, we don't know which one of these it was that we picked up. So, it could have been this one we picked up last. That one's been delayed by my publisher, Shadow. That one's probably fall of 2020. It's going to be the 3rd book in the series. New Game Plus will allow you to carry forward all of the Bone Charm traits that you've deconstructed before the end of the game. It will also allow you to carry forward all the rune points that you've spent into your skills. So if you could, if you've spent a bunch of points on skills, you can now take those points with you. So as soon as you get off the boat and or get onto the boat and talk with the outsider and choose his mark, you're going to have a bunch of points to spend immediately. You carry your blueprints with you as well. So any blueprints you've already gotten, you're going to have access to those immediately. Plus, if you decide to source your game off like an Emily playthrough and you want to play through as Corvo now, well, now as Corvo, you get all of Corvo's skills plus all of Emily's skills. So kind of opens up new skill combinations and things along those lines. So you can't take your money with you, but you do take a lot of other stuff. So it's always good to do New Game Plus. Check it out. You get a little OP mode and rock through there. Rip a mighty cloud right now onto the mic. Gonna walk through it. All right, did we clear everything up? Tonight has been a night of me talking way too much and getting distracted from what I'm actually doing. Okay, putting them back in the bank is totally not what we want to do. It's because we've almost been streaming for 3 hours. Ooh, hey, we're full on blood shards too. We can go get some crap from stingy ass Kadala. Really? Seriously? Look at that. So the intellect is off, but that's a perfect... We might have to hold on to those just for the heck of it. Yeah. I didn't even know I had that one. Okay. All right, so let's go buy some bracers and see if we can get. Well, we're not going to get anything. Let's be honest here. All right, but we will get this crap out of our inventory. And that's not Kadala, believe it or not. It's giant and it's gray, kind of like her, but... The ancient Parthian defenders are actually the bracers I would like to see come out of here. And in the past about 8,000 shards, I still haven't seen them show up. $8,000-ish. Too bad the energy twister build isn't still a thing. I get enough of these Ranslor's Folly that could fill a whole chest with just those. Yeah, that's Krem's Bluff, Biff's Phlegm, whatever. Not an ancient among them. Such a shame. Such a shame. Okay, so because Katie asked and I said I would do it before we end the stream, I'm gonna run a greater rift and I'm gonna go through this other build real quick. Well, not real quick, but I don't know how long it's gonna take, but either way. We'll put this stuff on. dump these gems in here and talk about what this build is. So, skills. This is known as the Delseer's Magnus Opus, something like that, Arcane Orbit build. Generally, it's just referred to as the DMO Arcane Orbit build. The primary secondary skill are Spectral Blade with Barrier Blades. Secondary skills, Arcane Orbit, or Arcane Orb with Arcane Orbit. This is where, kind of like with the Explosive Blast build, where the Explosive Blast is where the majority of your damage is coming from. The Arcane Orb with Arcane Orbit is where the bulk of your damage is coming from. You're using your Spectral Blades because it's giving you a shield, and it's also building up your Arcane Dynamo stacks. However, the Arcane Orb, this is where the majority of your damage is coming from. Okay? So you've got Ice Armor with Crystallize. This is going to increase your armor when you get struck, which is important. Stacks up to 3 times. However, it pairs nicely with an item that we have slotted in the cube that I'll talk about in a second. So that's why this is here. Slow time with Exhaustion. Enemies caught when slow time deal 25% less damage. This is pretty huge for the greater rifts, the higher level greater rifts, because you don't wind up getting taking so much damage when you're standing in your time warp bubble or your slow time bubble. There are other ones you can run. Time warp is what I was thinking of, and that one makes the enemies take 15% more damage. So it's a pretty awesome rune to put on your skill. I don't use it for the high level greater rifts because the less damage I'm a big fan of, especially when I'm fighting the Guardians, when there's like no other enemies around. So Time Warp's pretty cool for that. But Exhaustion is the one I tend to run on the high level greater rifts. So let's see, running Explosive Blast with Chain Reaction. The reason running this is because of, once again, another item I have cubed for some defense. And then Teleport Wormhole, which just really is for mobility. You see, it's the one that gives you pretty much an additional teleport as long as you use it within 3 seconds of the initial cast. So you get 2 teleports out of it. Skill-wise, down here in the passives, Illusionist, when you take more than 15% of your maximum life and damage within 1 second, the cooldowns on Mirror Image, Slow Time, and Teleport are reset. This happens all the time because you're taking so much damage. So this gets procced, and you pretty much have instant availability on Slow Time, which is really important. Arcane Dynamo. It says, when you cast a signature spell, you gain a flash of insight after 5 flashes. Your next non-signature spell deals 60% additional damage. So you're using your Spectral Blade, you can see that number 3 on the list there, to build up the stacks. And then once you have 5 stacks, the next time like an Arcane Orbit or to hit an enemy, it's 60% more powerful. It can sometimes be procced by Explosive Blast as well. I'm not too particular about micromanaging that, but that's kind of how it's supposed to work. Unstable Anomaly, it literally is just an oh crap, I died, or oh crap, I took too much damage type moment, so it's like an extra life. And then Audacity, you deal an extra 30% damage to enemies within 15 yards. You are going to be in melee range with enemies with this build. It's not a distance build. So those are the skills that you wind up running. If we go down and take a look at the cube, I mentioned it a little bit in the skills. So in the cube, I've got a Halo of Arlize, or Arlize, however you want to say that. It says your arse. Hey, your arse, you're talking out your arse, mate. It says your ice armor now reduces damage from melee attacks by 60%. Automatically cast Frost Nova whenever you take 10% of your life and damage. So this, having ice armor on, is a massive part of your defense in this build. Massive part of your defense in this build. If you use this build and forget to turn your ice armor on, you will notice it immediately the first time you get hit. So it's huge. Next thing is the Aquila Cuirass. We saw this with the other build. While you're above 90% of your primary resource, all damage taken is reduced by 50%. This is huge for survivability, and most of the time, you are sitting above 90% of your primary resource, so you don't have to worry about that. If you start, massively casting your Arcane Orb, you will drain your arcane power down and put yourself in a situation where you could get one shot, but overall, this is my favorite here. And then Explosive Blast, we were talking about that before, why it's part of the build, is each time you hit an enemy with an Explosive Blast, your damage is increased by 5%, and your damage reduction is increased by 15% for 6 seconds. The effect can stack up to 4 times. The damage, I don't really care too much about. I really have it on here because of the damage reduction that stacks up with this. Now, there's no cooldown reduction into this build, so Explosive Blast is not going off as quickly or as often as it was doing in the Explosive Blast build. However, it does go off, and it does help out with keeping you alive. So from a gear perspective, obviously this is the DMO build, so we're using Delsier's Magnum Opus as our set. I have all 6 pieces of the set equipped. Reason being is I can't get rid of this, and I have tried getting rid of this, and putting on... What I really want to use with this build is... Where's that helmet at? It's around here somewhere. I know what it looks like. Come on, I thought it was on the first page. This. Slow time gains the effect of every rune. I would cut a bitch to be able to use this as my slot, but I just can't do it. Can't get rid of this. Right, to put that on there. Can't drop the Halo of whatever to put Ring of Royal Grandeur here and then drop the helmet, because you need to have your Compass Rose set and you need Convention of Elements, which we'll talk about in a second. So overall, there's just no way to work it into the build that I can figure out effectively and not just completely gut yourself from a defense perspective. You can play around with it and see what you think, but it's not one of those things that's really ever worked out well for me. But so the things you use in this build, the key to the build is the Unstable Scepter. So Arcane Orb's explosion triggers an additional time. So as I said, Arcane Orb is going to be your big damage dealer. This plays right into that. This is huge for that. Plus, it also gives you Arcane Orb damage. Right? So you can roll between 50 and 65% damage increase on this weapon. So it's huge. This build is all about area damage, in my opinion. So area damage, you'll see, when you're attacking an individual enemy, there are actually little damage numbers that are popping up all around the periphery of wherever you're attacking. And it's that area damage that is really helping making this build so powerful. So you kill a lot of enemies at once, or put a lot of damage on a lot of enemies at once while you're attacking, something in their midst. The Convention of Elements, important ring for this build. You can see that it's got, once again, area damage rolled on it. As much as I could get area damage, that's what I have rolled on a lot of these. It says it increases the damage of a single element for 4 seconds, rotates through the elements, blah, blah, blah. If you look down here on the screen, the buffs right above the skills, you can see the little ring icon that's showing up and then ticking off. It's got frost, and then fire, and then lightning, and then arcane, and then we're back to frost. So it kind of cycles through them. What you really, really, really want to do, if you can manage it, is make sure that you have 5 stacks of your Arcane Dynamo while you have an arcane proc here. So it's showing you arcane damage is going to be increased. And at that point, renew your Arcane Orb with Arcane Orbit. And when that cast actually hits, for about 4 seconds, you're going to have the ability to do massive damage to an individual enemy. You'll see it when we run through a rift, how that kind of works out. Now, obviously, you don't have a choice sometimes when you cast it, but it's definitely one you want to focus on, having 5 stacks, casting your Arcane Orb, when you've got that kind of pinkish purple icon showing up down here. right? So convention of elements, that's what's giving us that little icon there. And then we're rocking the compass rose with the traveler's pledge. While moving, damage taken is reduced by 50%. While standing still, damage dealt is increased by up to 100%. Well, the moving part of this is important with this build, in my opinion, when you're running greater rifts, because when you're running the high-level greater rifts, because you wind up getting yourself into a situation where you really don't do a ton of damage. You really don't, except when you're like underneath your bubble, and even then, with these greater rifts, you're really elite hunting. That's what your job is. You're not really trying to kill too much trash. If you get a huge group of trash, it's fine to kill it, but you're not really killing a few enemies here and there. So while you're going to be doing a lot of moving, and it reduces the amount of damage you're taking while you're moving around looking for elites. The reason you want to use the DMO set is right down here at the bottom, the 6-piece part. It says enemies affected by your slow time and for 5 seconds after exiting, take 35% increased damage from Arcane Orb, Explosive Blast, Spectral Blade. Those are the 3 ones we have working. So while you have your guys underneath the bubble that you're attacking, you're doing a shit ton more damage to them with that Arcane Orb. And when you pair that with your Arcane Dynamo, then your Arcane Orb, and finally your pink Convention of Elements here, you're doing a lot of damage. So that's really how you do damage with this build. As I said, everything is area damage. That's what you're trying to roll on this stuff if you can. And I have a % life gem in my helm. Okay? Take note of that. You're trying to get your life up as high as possible, because if we go into skills again, what were we using? Did I switch this around? Oh. So you, with Unstable Anomaly, you wind up getting a shield that's that's a percentage of your maximum life. So that's why we were stacking that on there instead of cooldown. I mean, it can't hurt to have more life, but it kind of pairs well with that. Cooldown reduction would help, but at the same time, you don't have to worry about cooldown reduction on slow time. You don't have to worry about cooldown reduction on teleport. You don't have to worry about cooldown protection on any of this stuff except for explosive blast. And honestly, you're just not going to push that cooldown reduction far enough down that explosive blast is going to be affected by it enough for it to matter. It's just not going to happen. You really have to stack it for it to matter, and we're not stacking it. So we're stacking area damage. The other thing is Ancient Parthian Defenders, one of the few non-legendary items that I am or non-ancient legendary items that I have. Each enemy stunned within 25 yards reduces your damage taken by 11%. Surround yourself with a barrier of ice that reduces damage from melee attackers. Melee attackers are either chilled or frozen. Frozen counts as stunned for 3 seconds. So any frozen enemies nearby you are reducing the damage you take. So that's why you use these. That's how it plays into the defense. And lastly, the Triumvirate, which says your signature spells increase the damage of Arcane Orb by 194% for 6 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. Once again, everything is stacked around Arcane Orb in this build. So that's how it kind of stacks up. Let's jump into a rift. See what kind of gems I have here. Do we have anything of any reasonable level? Of course not. So 75 will allow us to level up to 75. That's a 77. 77. That is a 77. Okay. Oh, and the 3 gems you may want to run, you can switch these out. Esoteric Alteration, I like this because of the non-physical damage reduction, which is huge. And also the resist increase if you take some damage. So I really do like this. This helps out a lot against Rift Guardians, in my opinion. When they shoot out like a poison shot or just some big damage, you're not going to get hit by it as hard. So I like that. Bane of the Stricken. Each attack you make against an enemy increases the damage it takes from your attacks by X%. This also helps against Rift Guardians, right? So I find like the what's the chick that the little succubus, when she shoots out fireballs, she can almost one-shot me when I'm not using this gem. So that's kind of why I like it. And the reason you have the each attack against an enemy increases the damage is because this is your attack with your spectral blade, so you can see it's really quick. Right? And the spectral blade is also giving you a shield that absorbs 4% of your life and damage, which also ties into this why we have 23% life on this gem. So that's kind of why we're using this one, because you're attacking so quickly, so many times. This pairs well. And then lastly, your Bane of the Trapped. Enemies under control of parrying effects, which once again right here, our Frost Armor, Chilled, Frozen, etc., etc. So it all kind of plays in together. That's how it works. And you can see here's the Arcane Dynamo stack. So we've got 5. Every time you attack, you get 5 of those. Cast your spell. Now these 4 orbs are floating with that Arcane Dynamo. Cast that extra damage on them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gets it to you again. We've got our Triumvirate there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's what you're trying to do. I don't micromanage the build too much. Not as much as you should to make it effective, but that's just me because I'm lazy. You could probably push this build a little farther than I do, but as I said, I'm kind of lazy. All right, so everything here is at 77. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to do like a level like 78 Rift, so I can at least get a 60% chance of upgrading those. We're not going to push too far. As you can see, 82 is the next one for me, and 80 and 81 are rough. So we're going to try 78. It shouldn't be too bad. We're going to empower it just because. And we are going to hope I remember how to play this build. Put our ice armor on. Remember where my hands go on the keyboard. Oh, yeah. Find the elite. There we go. Ryan, not that often. It just depends on what my schedule's like, man. Okay. And standing right up in here where all of the arcane bars are on the stairs is the absolute best place to go to fight an enemy. But making sure you have your ice armor on is really important. Also making sure that you have your slow time bubble up is great. That's always important. As I said, it usually takes me a run or two to get used to playing this build again. Having it up not only makes you do more damage, but obviously protects you from getting like wrecked by these elites. And of course these ones are all going to explode. So did you see what happened right before that cast? That I had the arcane stack from the Convention of Elements. This may be a video of what not to do in a Greater Rift when you're running this build, but it's not meant to be. What is that? Yeah, effectively, you wind up with no cooldown on slow time because of the that skill that I showed you. I can show it to you again when we get out of here. But it effectively says if you take more than like 15%, it's illusionist. It says if you take more than 50% of your life and damage, it resets the cooldown on slow time. So if you watch the slow time when I use it, which I'll use it now, You can see if I get hit. Well, it chunked down there for a second, but when you get hit, it winds up reducing the cooldown on it. So of course it's a dead end. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen. And we are going back the same way we came, and the elite is not even around here. Oh, and it's the, I'm going to drop a fireball on you. Oh, and by the way, I have knockback. Thanks for playing, elite. Okay, so you can see the numbers that are happening on the ads down there just beneath me, and I'm not attacking them. That's because of that area damage. See, even damage is happening to the elite up there, and I'm not attacking him, or I wasn't. I am now. When we get into a big group, you'll see it even more, but... Okay, where do we need to go? Apparently we need to go up, and I'm not walking all the way back around there. Hey, see you, Ryan. Thanks for stopping by, bud. Sorry, in Greater Rifts, I'm trying not to die. Okay, so you watch the damage that's going on the periphery as we attack stuff that's not even nearby, and it's because of the area damage. So you're really getting the benefit of attacking a lot of things at once, kind of like you do with the explosive blast build by using the area damage. Now, if there was only a way to get area damage and cooldown reduction into the explosive blast build, it would be even more effective. But that's not possible, so... You do have to watch out for the bubble. You can see all of the little wasp things that are queued up in there that you don't walk face first into those. Same things with the succubus orbs and like arrows and spears and stuff. You can easily get yourself killed on accident by like walking through stuff that's in there, or if you get any of the electrified elites, that can happen too, because the electrified things have been slowed inside the bubble, and as you try to get out after they're dead, you wind up just getting yourself wrecked. Now, I said you're elite hunting, but when you get big packs like this, I don't really have a problem killing them. When there's only like 3 or 4 of them, I'm kind of like, why? But, or when your Templar decides to suck them all in like that. I'll take a speed pylon, that's fine. And the more enemies that are near you that are frozen, the more defense you're going to get. So it's usually good to hang out in a group if you can. Safety in numbers and all that. As I finished that thought like 3 minutes after I made that comment. The nice thing with this is that if you can isolate that elite and get him killed first, you're generally better off because you don't have to kill all of his stupid buddies in order to get a proc like you do with the Explosive Blast build, where you have to get that NG on proc, and the only way you get it is by killing every single member of the pack. And although I said don't face tank all of those, I decided to do it anyways. But there were health globes nearby. It was totally intentional. Okay. Yeah, I did just walk in a circle. Why are we setting off fireworks? It's not even the 4th of July. This is why you don't live next to hillbillies. They don't own calendars, therefore they don't realize that at 10 o'clock on a Friday night, maybe not the best time to set off the fireworks. Nor is 3 o'clock in the morning on a Thursday, which happens. This is why I'm thankful for YouTube, so I know the actual answer to the question of what would happen if I shoved a bottle rocket up someone's ass and lit it. It doesn't do enough damage, so my my threat doesn't really seem to be to have too much teeth. No, guns are just for special occasions around here, Shadow. We just stand out on our decks and shoot our guns off in the air. You know, for like New Year's Day and, you know, to New Year's Eve, the whole transition. You gotta start the new year off right. Go out there, fire off your shotgun a few times. Let the commies know they better not mess with us. Oh, Jesus. Okay, I'm not standing that shit. So the Electrify, you can see underneath the bubble is pretty intense. Ow, shit, we're gonna die. Knew that was gonna happen. Good Lord. Can we not do that? Is that possible? The sad thing is we're like, god damn. Oh. Thank God, because I do not want to fight the Rift Guardian right there. Oh, my favorite Rift Guardian. She never stands still. If you're ever on a short clock, this is the wrong Rift Guardian to get. I think you must have seen what happens if you don't put ice armor on. I can't remember if that was on, but I don't think it was. When I said you'll get one-shotted, that's what I meant. God damn, bitch, stand still. And she always seems to jump right when the arcane one comes up. Where I have my 5 stacks and I'm about to cast it, and all of a sudden she's jumping around like it's her job. See? Knocking me away. Hey, when the frost one's up, she stands real still. Fire, still. There we go. Alright, so once we get that sorted out, as I said, I haven't played this build in a while, so you'll have to forgive me. Alright, let's see what we can upgrade here. Oh, look at that. 60% chance and it actually worked. Holy shit, twice in a row. Bane of the Trapped. Wow. 3 out of 4 ain't bad. We died once, so we lost out on one opportunity, but that's not bad. Now, I hate that Rift Guardian, Katie. Hate that Rift Guardian. Not so bad on this Rift level, because we had plenty of time, but when you're running 80 and that timer pops up on the screen and it's like, you have 30 seconds left, and she's got 50% health and she's jumping all over the map and you can't just nail her down to put damage on her. Oh, the frustration is real at that point. Let me tell you. Nice thing about those high level rifts is, man, they still move that experience bar, which is nice. See if we got anything good. Probably not. Garbage, 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 garbage. Ooh, I got a Primal Ancient Rondal's Locket. I use that all the time. Thanks. Yeah. Shadow Walker, probably not. I think we're probably gonna wrap things up. I can't throw this away. I can't disenchant it. I've seen so few primals that I just can't get rid of it. All right, well, I think that is going to wrap us up for this evening. We are past the 3.5-hour mark, which I'm sure you know by now is not normally how long we stream, but got started a little bit early tonight. So I wanted to get a little time in and do some bounties. Once I finish up the bounties, I will wait to do the rerolls until we do another stream so that you guys can see the rerolls and see what we get out of that stuff, all the work we did tonight. But thanks for stopping by tonight. For everyone who's still around watching and everybody who stopped on over the past couple hours, I really do appreciate it. It was nice chatting with everybody. If you have any questions, make sure you post them in the comments section once the video gets posted. But as always, thanks for watching, guys. Take care.